Greetings guys, it's Blaze here back again with another video. Today I figured I'd do the dual web Kestrel. Most of the fights you're going to see are the armor variant. There's a pretty sweet dual web one which is very similar to the dual web Tormentor, and that does like a lot of DPS. Now if you're fighting anything active tank, it's going to go down very quickly. Now if it notices your dual web, it can warp off, and especially if it's like buffer tank, you'll have a lot of time to notice this. But most of the fights again, what you're going to see is armor one. The armor one does basically, you sacrifice a lot for the scram. You sacrifice a lot of speed. You get a bit more tank than you would the shield one, but yeah, you lose like a significant amount of DPS with a Pete. We're doing about 150 DPS with Rage on the armor one, and then the shield one you'll be getting about 220. The shield one will be getting about 5k EHP. Whereas armor one will be getting about 6k. I was toying with the idea of whether to take out a DCU and do a ballistic control. But then when I did that, I was getting like 4.5k EHP, and then I was like, you might as well just fly the shield one at that point. So the 6k buffer, I feel like you kind of need the DCU in this one. You're still doing RA DPS, and you have like a lot of range control. And you also have that scram, which is all very handy. You could do tree marks, but what I do is traverse bulkheads, because I feel like the speed's kind of required. I also run with a speed booster, and the shield one with a DPS booster. It might be the best to do that the other way around. I feel like to sort of help with the weaknesses, it's best to do like, well, use the speed drug with the armor one and the DPS booster with the shield one, just because if basically you need to nuke people as quick as you can with the shield one. The armor one you have all the time in the world. You don't want to be taking too much DPS, of course, but so yeah, that's pretty much there is really to these Kestrels. Basically, any engagement I do in the armor one, you can pretty much do in the shield one the same way, because they fly very, very similarly. So basically, like any of these engagements can be done in either or. The shield one has like a better chance of doing like 2 versus 1s, whereas the armor one I feel would have like a very hard time. Even against like some of the T1 1v1 stuff, it'll have a hard time. But yeah. Enough about that mumbling stuff. Let's get on to the face, guys. Okay, for this first fight, we're up against a Comet here. Generally blaster comets you can do quite well against. We're going to orbit at 7.5k. That'll keep us out of void and mana range, and slightly out of null. In hindsight, I should have maybe kept my orbit at 8k. I was a bit worried that I'd maybe lose scram. He'd end up running, but that doesn't end up being the case. So we keep out that range. He's going to be applying thing for these drones. Blasters will be having a problem until he switches to null, and you should be getting like an occasional little grazing at this point. The rail comet, I don't think I can actually beat that. We could potentially try and counter his guns if it worked into us, but I still feel like I'll get the odd grazing hit, and the drones combined with the large HP of the Comet will end up whittling us down. But if the blaster one, we can generally keep fully out of its range. I should have pulled my range out further in this engagement, so you will see that yeah, this doesn't turn out the way I would like it to, but it's still super close, and it shows that if you were a bit better piloting, we could have had this. But yeah, I am leaving, and that we could have potentially still had that, but I was cowarding, so yeah. Okay, I was going to Tormentors expecting beams. You don't see many pulse Tormentors. Thankfully, this is a beam one. I have been put off by the odd pulse ones, because you always expect to get underneath the orbit 500 and not get tracked, which is going to happen here. Once our orbit's established, you'll start to miss quite a few hits. But with pulses, I've noticed they've actually put me off, man. I've gotten so like I'm used to beams. I just don't look at the guns in Tormentor anymore in orbit like this, which can be bad, especially since we're warping into a Tormentor like this. You have like plenty of time to like check your guns, so you have like, I believe it's 10-second invulnerability before they can lock you, so use that time to like gather some intel on your opponent. Luckily I was quite lucky, and then this guy's beams, in which case like this is pretty much what you want to do, orbit close. With pulses you probably want to orbit a bit further, force them to use Scorch. I believe, what's the word, multi-frequency, to be hitting out to be like 5 or 6. I'm not too knowledgeable by the ranges of pulses, because I haven't really encountered many or flown them myself. So that was a good kill there. It was relatively close, actually, got a good bit into my buffer. And then I noticed in Cursus on the D-scan, and I know this guy's slightly newer, but it seems like he wants to fight, or just like try and third party me when I was finished a fight. So I set my default orbit to 7.5k. Hope that it doesn't have null or doesn't switch to it quick enough, and then I'm hoping it's quite lightly tanked. So this is basically what we do. His drone will probably plink away at me, but I'm hoping that he makes some bad decisions. In which case, he might have done. And yeah, I believe he just like seen the armor and the hull and like, oh, Kestrel's usually shield tank. This is gonna be an easy one. Not so much. We still have like a lot of hull buffer, because like I used to hull rigs instead of the tree marks for the armor. And but yeah, I don't think he ends up going for null, and he goes down very quickly. So yeah, that was a GF for those guys. Alright, mad respect for his Tormentor, and especially the pilot. I think he knows how to pilot, unlike me, man. I just bump into stuff and then hope it goes well. I ordered this dude at 500, and this is the AP Web Scram Tormentor, so I'm expecting to underneath this guy's guns really easily. Cause like once you see Web Scram, he's pretty much like you can reassure yourself that it's like the AB one. So I try and get under his guns, but throughout all this fight, he's getting like hits and like good hits, like the occasional grazing, but he's still doing very well. This is still a very close fight. I haven't had like as hard a fight against a proper Tormentor like this in a long time. It's usually dual web ones give me a run for my money, but I was in awe of this pilot's piloting. So it seems like he's doing manual piloting to like increase his hits, I believe. I could be wrong, but in which case, like, it's definitely a GF, man, because I was like so close. I was not expecting to be that close. Okay, this is a little mirror match, armor Kestrel versus armor Kestrel, but highlight something you can do. Luna unfortunately has like, I believe a non T2 rig, which I'm using for more damage. So something you can do is like keep yourself at 10k and then force me to run after them. Unfortunately, it doesn't work quite as well as what Luna was hoping, I believe. If they pulled it to like 11 or 12 and then let us run into them that way, the missiles would be hitting us and ours would be hitting them. Due to how missiles like travel. But it shows you like something you can do. It's just unfortunate Luna didn't pull off 100% because they could have had us that way. And they probably would have also had us if they had a T2 rig, but it sort of shows you like a little tactic you can do. But yeah, nevertheless, GF Luna. Okay, Rifters have a really hard problem against good scram carriers because of their fall off. They'll still be hitting out to you, because about with 200s will be hitting about 10k, 150s will be about 9.5. I set my default orbit to 7.6. And I could have done it out further again, but I'm always super worried that I'm going to lose scram and then they're going to warp off. Like here, I end up like pulling myself out of scram range. If I was like actually like okay at piloting, then maybe we shouldn't have done this. But yeah, that's why I set my default 7k, just in case I lose it again. So I've got Nova Rage loaded. You can pretty much rest assured that most Rifters are going to be armor tanks. There's an occasional weird like meme, like a shield one. You'll notice I pull my my orb out to 10k just for a little bit this fight, because I'm actually worried that he's going to potentially take us. Just to like get in these like very far fall off, and then I'll come back in. Just to give myself my little bit of advantage there. In which case, yeah, we end up taking this, but again, another super close fight. Again, props to this Rifter. That's a good GF. Alright, here's the only fight I have with the Shield Kestrel. It's unfortunate because I know Rollo. I've fought him many times before and I know he's the armor Kestrel. So I have Nova Rage loaded here. Had I not known he was the shield one, armor one, sorry, and had Inferno loaded, this could have been a closer fight, but since I knew the best resist to shoot at Rollo beforehand, you'll see the amount of DPS that this Kestrel puts out and the fact that I know that he's armor kind of makes that an easy win for us, unfortunately. But nevertheless, again, thank you for the fight, Rollo. Alright, the cool thing about the Kestrel's range bonus is that your Javelin's going to be hitting out to 22. So you can deal with kiters, so you don't need to worry about too much like warping into one like a kiting Breacher or kiting Tristan. Now, I sort of mind game myself here. I don't know what to do. I'm thinking, is this a Brawly Tristan that wants me to burn into it? Because I'm waiting for his prop to activate so I can see his speed. He hasn't activated the prop, so I'm like, alright, I think it's going to be Brawly and want me to burn into it. I don't know why I line out here, but it ends up being the long point kitey one. I take so long here to like switch ammos. I'm looking for Mjolnir Javelin, which I don't have, so I end up going for Inferno Javelin instead. And this time, this cost me, alright, foreshadowing. A little bit of salt there. And that 10-second reload's also really rough, but it's what you need to do is like get out to these characters. We could try and slingshot it, but with a 400 plate, that's not going to happen, I don't think. So I'm aligning out. We're heading out plenty thing, even though he's sitting at 20k. I think he might be like approaching us or keeping us at range or something. So I feel like if someone's like orbiting at 20 or 21 or something, we probably shouldn't be able to hit. But thankfully we are. I'm lining out just in case that this is gonna bit rough. Like I don't think this is gonna go my way. So I'm hoping to maybe like warp. But yeah, you'll end up seeing that still super close. I have a good hull buffer as well. so it's like a lot closer than what you think. I use a DCU, and yeah, it's a shame that someone's like time it took to reload cost them the fight. So yeah, try and be quick on your reload swaps and don't be bad. Don't let this happen to you. Nevertheless, still very close in that GF. Alright, that's the things I had for you guys today. I do hope you enjoyed. I had some good fun with this Kestrel. The thing is, I wish I had more fights to show you, but the amount of people flying Tormentors just now is insane. The amount of Tormentor 1v1s I got was ridiculous. I love fighting Tormentors, don't get me wrong. Just that kind of sucks that I don't have like as much variety that I would like in this video, because like everyone's keen for the Tormentors at the moment. Which, again, don't blame them. Sweet frigate. So sorry I couldn't get you guys in like more like 2v1s or like just different 1v1s. The dudes just weren't out there. But yeah, this Kestrel can do like a lot of things. It's pretty cheap, especially the armor one. You can reduce the cost, of course, by like not using the T2 Reich if you want, and you'll still get like a good amount out of it. So basically, the shield one can need the T2, but the armor one doesn't. It doesn't really require too much in DPS. It's more the range control. That's why speed drug's so handy in that. Because if we can control range in a fight, we're pretty much golden. Especially once you learn like what fights to take and whatnot. But yeah, guys, like it humbles me to no end when you guys like watch my videos. So hope you guys enjoyed. And enjoy the rest of your day, and I shall hope to see you in the next one. Take care, guys.